Hi everyone, welcome to the first ever Sport Report video blog on the official Sport Report YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing this probably once a week now going forward, giving you the chance to ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. You can send the questions to npwsport@gmail.com, and yeah, I'm willing to try and answer anything you ask. You may also send suggestions for articles you'd like me to write, stuff I've maybe not covered before, and yeah, I'll probably give it a go. This week, however, we're going to focus purely on the John Terry captaincy issue, Fabio Capello's subsequent resignation as England manager, and also the Suarez Evra Saga, because those are the three stories that are currently dominating the sports pages. So first of all, we'll discuss John Terry and Capello, and I'd like to say thanks to Delroy for the comment he left on the Arrivederci Fabio article. Obviously took Delroy a while because it was a long, lengthy, very well argued, very coherent comment, so thanks very much. For those of you that haven't read the comment, Delroy was basically praising the FA for strong leadership on the John Terry issue, and he spoke about David Bernstein having done the right thing in going over Capello's head and stripping John Terry of the captaincy. Delroy's opinion was that it's unacceptable and wrong to have a captain who is embroiled in a racism scandal, which, you know, some of you may agree with, some of you may not. What I would say on the issue is that I think what Delroy says is correct, but for me it's correct in a situation in which the man, in this case John Terry, has been found guilty. I think it's important that we make the point that John Terry is, in this case, only accused of having racially abused Anton Ferdinand. He's not actually being convicted of anything at this point. And obviously in England, one of the sort of founding elements of the justice system is that you are innocent until proven guilty. And I think that applies in John Terry's case just as it does in every other. And so I think until he's proven guilty, you know, we have to assume that he is innocent. And so for me, maybe the FA have taken the action a little bit too soon. That said, it could of course cause problems within the squad, because players will have their own opinion on it, particularly Rio Ferdinand, should he make the squad, with it being his brother that's the victim of the supposed racial abuse. So, you know, there's a sort of potential footballing issue there, that the FA have obviously felt needs to be addressed as much as anything else. With regards to Capello, I think that my opinion is that he was not defending John Terry. People have said that he was defending John Terry. I don't think that was the point he was trying to make. I don't think he made his point particularly well. I think what he was saying was the argument that you're innocent until proven guilty, which is fair enough, and that he felt John Terry should have been allowed to continue in his role as England captain until the decision had been reached by the courts in July, which, as I say, to me seems quite reasonable. What I do find strange is that the FA have obviously taken a view that John Terry is not fit to captain the country, but he's fit to represent the country, and I find that slightly bizarre, because to me surely it's both or neither. If John Terry is not fit to captain England, surely he's not fit to play for England either. So this man is fit to wear the three lions as long as it doesn't have an armband. Honestly, it's strange to me. I think if the FA feel that strongly about the crime that John Terry's supposedly committed, then they should have said this player is no longer, you know, available for selection. So yeah, I find that quite odd. However, as I've said to a number of people with whom I've spoken face to face about the issue, I think it depends on how you see the England captain role. And for me, it's become much more than a footballing function. I think it's very much an ambassadorial role with a high element of kind of corporate cooperation, and that's something to which Alan Shearer alluded on Football Focus. You know, whether that's right or wrong, again, everybody's going to have their own opinion of, but there's no secret in the fact that the FA is very much tied into a number of corporate marriages, and I wouldn't be surprised if the decision had been influenced by pressure from sponsors. Because when you are England captain, you appear at the front of photo shoots, you appear on the front of magazines, and company logos are often appearing in close proximity to your face. And there will be a number of companies that will not be comfortable, and rightly so, with having their brand associated with somebody who's up on a charge for racially abusing somebody. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's played a role. I do feel that Bernstein and co could have called Capello in before making the decision rather than after making the decision. Capello probably wasn't the wisest in giving the interview to Rai and saying what he said, because it's created a situation that Bernstein has then obviously felt a need to address, and they've addressed it, you know, by speaking to Capello, and it seems that both parties have been unable to reach an agreement, and that it's been decided that the best thing to do is to part ways. So, you know, where does that leave England now? In a difficult situation, to be honest. You know, we're only 4 months away from the beginning of a major tournament, and England are captainless, managerless, and quite frankly clueless. I don't think we know what's happening next with regards to who's going to be the captain. My personal opinion is that we should trivialise the captaincy at this point. I think it's become far too big a deal. It's become a media circus, the captaincy. We had this whole same thing in 2010 with the John Terry Wayne Bridge saga, and here we are again, you know, 2 years on, same situation. I would personally trivialise it and give it to the person with the most caps, like Italy do. Because for me, I think anybody that's played football at any level, I've only played at a very low amateur level myself, knows that on the field you have natural leaders. Regardless of whether or not they have an armband on, you know who your leaders are. And I think England's exactly the same. Just because you take an armband away from John Terry will not take his leadership qualities away from him overnight. You know, it's the captain's armband, it's not Samson's hair. So for me, I think you know who your leaders are, regardless of whether they have an armband on or not. You know, you've got leaders on the field, so give it to the person with the most caps. However, I don't think England will go down that route. I think they'll go down the route of trying to pick a proper captain, and I think that captain will be Steven Gerrard, who is the most obvious choice for the job, given that he captains his club every week. He's got previous experience of captaining England at a major tournament, having done it in South Africa 2 years ago. But, you know, people could level accusations of hypocrisy at the FA there. Steven Gerrard was on a charge not too long ago himself, you know, for reputedly having assaulted somebody in a nightclub. CCTV footage didn't seem to look too good for Steven Gerrard, but he was cleared, so I'm presuming that would be the FA's out.